Hello, welcome, I'm Chris and this is Kraken EDC, and on this video I'm going to do an everyday carry that's a budget edition. Now obviously budget is very subjective. What's expensive to one person is not so expensive to another, but I think most of this stuff is very reasonably priced. So whether you're getting into EDC or whether you want to have a second EDC, maybe as a backup when you go somewhere like the beach or into a club where you don't want to take your more expensive equipment, or even to work, then this is for you. Okay, so I'm going to start off like I always do. I carry a mixture of my EDC in my pockets, but when I am leaving the house, I always carry a bag. Now, I've shown this bag before, and I'm just going to quickly do an update as I promised. Now, some of the bits aren't finished because basically the post over here has been an absolute nightmare and I'm still waiting for pieces. But this is the little man bag that I got, and if you want to see more of this bag, check out the video and I'll link it up in the title and in the description below. But basically what I've done is I've taken off some of the catches and I've added some orange paracord instead what was there, which was just these black plastic clips. And also I've taken off the plastic clips here and put on some aluminium D-rings. And you'll see as well, I've put on a Star Wars bead and a new patch. I've got more patches and I've got more beads coming, so I am going to sort of extend this even more. Now, when I filmed this last, this bag was just $9.99. It has shot up now to $16.99, but like most things, everything just seems to go up day by day as time goes by. The next thing you'll also notice is I've added a carabiner to it. Now, the carabiner is a hero clip, and I'm sure you've seen these before, but for those of you that haven't, it acts as a carabiner, which is very, very handy, but you can also unlock it like this. So what this means is if you go into a stall or into a cubicle and the floor's dirty and you don't want to put your bag down on the floor, or you want somewhere to hang your jacket, what you can do is you can clip that onto whatever you want, your bag, your jacket, and you can hang that over the door, a table, whatever. And again, this just comes in very, very handy. So again, this is very cheap, $16.99 for this. I think that's a very reasonable price. It's going to last a long time. I don't think that's going to break bank considering, and it is a very useful thing to have. Holds up to 20 pounds. You can get larger ones, you can get smaller ones. Okay, so watches. Again, watches are very subjective. There are lots of cheap watches out on the market that you could use. My Casio that I normally wear is a very sort of reasonable watch, around about £40. You can get G-Shocks, again, about £80 to £100. I don't think that's extortionate. What I'm wearing today is actually a Fitbit. I don't often wear something like these sports trackers anymore. I used to all the time when I was sort of out on the road, because as I was driving, the alerts would come up on the screen and I could just quickly look and see who was calling me. However, now I spend more time at home, I find them a little bit annoying, constantly pinging away, and also as well, they're very generic. However, the Fitbit I think is the most reasonably priced. You've got sort of your Garmin, and of course you've got your Apples. To me, I've tried the Apple One, I didn't get on with it. The Fitbit is very reasonably priced. I've had this one 3-4 years now and it still charges, it still holds its charge for a nice long time, and it does most of the things I have to say that I want it to do. I tend to only wear this swimming if I'm not going with the kids and having a splash around, or if I'm going to the gym and I want to record my heart rate or how many calories I've burned. Okay, keys. Everybody has to carry a key. As I've said in past videos, I don't carry a lot of keys, and this is my blind keyring that I got as a free gift at the last video when I bought my coin. So if you didn't see the coin pouch that I bought, check out the last video. Again, I'll link it up in the corner. This is just a nice color, I really do. I've said it before, I love orange and black, and this is beautifully made, beautifully soft leather, and you can get a key on this, which of course then you can just throw in your pocket, or you can stick it in the bag. And so for somebody that doesn't carry too many keys like me, something like this is absolutely fantastic to carry around. Now, the last time I was carrying the Leatherman as well. However, we're going on a budget, so you've got, again, a lot of options in this range. You've got the Gerber Dime, the Leatherman Squirt. They're all sort of there as multi-tools if you want them. So I've still got my Gerber Dime, and you know, I put a bit of orange paracord on that, so if I want to use it, I still can use it. And again, links in the description to the video that this is explained in a bit more detail are below. But what I've done a little bit simpler as well. I've gone for a very cheap, this is $6.99 off Etsy, and it's just a little crowbar, and I gotta say, for the price, I really like it, and I have already used it today. I had to do something at the car, and prying the seat belt with this did the job. You've got the orange lanyard on it, which when you put it in your hand adds as a bit of extension, gives you a bit more grip. And you know, it's pretty solid opening. So for just scraping, opening those cans, prying out a nail, I had a problem with the seatbelt, so I had to just sort of jam it in the seatbelt and just give it a bit of a leverage just to open the seatbelt latch up, and it worked fine. I had tried my little Gerber, and that just wasn't doing the job. So this did it. So for $6.99, and again, very, very useful. Very light, doesn't take up a lot of room, and you can get them in multiple different materials, multiple different colours. So that has already sort of proved its worth just for today. So sticking on the tools, I picked up this little thing, and I love it. It's just so cool. I'm not really sure on how you say the name of it. It has a K at the beginning of it. So in Knimpex? Not sure, I'm probably actually butchering that, but look at that. It is just a small ratcheting bolt clasps. And again, it's got a little bit more movement than something like this, where you've got your pliers, but obviously they're a very sort of small pinching range. So I do a lot of biking, and that can quite easily sort of fit onto most of my bike's bolts, whether, you know, I need to tighten up a wheel or a pedal, or whether I need to tighten the brake cables up. I can grab the brake cable with these, and then I can tighten up with these. And this comes in at just $16.99 on Amazon delivery. Actually, I didn't pay for next day delivery, but they came the next day, so that was fantastic when stuff like that happens. Really, really handy. Already used these again a couple of times, actually in conjunction with the little mini Gerber dimes, fixing a drawer. I held the dimes, and then on the outside screw I used these to tighten it up. Like I said, not that expensive thing, and definitely something that I'm going to be keeping in my kit. Even if I go up to sort of something bigger like the Leatherman or something like that eventually, these are very, very cool, very, very handy, very reasonably priced. Okay, so as you know as well, I do like my whiskey, I do like my cigars. I have to just quickly show you this. It doesn't really go in with the theme of it, but like I said, if I follow a guy on YouTube called Jeremy Sears, does a lot about whiskies and cigars, and I actually bought one of his flasks. Came from the States, took about 3 weeks, 4 weeks for this to actually arrive from the States. Beautiful, beautiful quality, brass cap, and I absolutely love it. So probably not the best thing to, you know, sit and swig out of, but I am liking my flask. Cigar wise, budget cigar, well, I think they're a budget cigar. These are bone shakers. These are strong. I like a cigar. These are very, very peppery. These are what I sort of call my everyday cigar. I don't smoke a cigar every day. Every maybe 2 or 3 days. So these are my go-to cigars. You can't get these in the UK, but my parents actually live out in Spain, and I get them when I go out to Spain, and they're only €5, which for this cigar, very nice cigar, that's not a lot. That's a very reasonable price cigar. You wouldn't get a cigar of this quality for £5 in the UK you'd be stretching more up to sort of that £10, nearly double the price. Although the one that I had last week, which was the Cafe, very nice cigar, much milder than this is, though much milder, more of a sort of an everyday cigar. Okay, so moving on, we need to light our cigar, don't we? This is just a glow-in-the-dark lighter. This was £5. It's a torch lighter. It's refillable. Don't know again if you're going to see that. I don't think you're going to see that on screen, but you can refill it at the bottom. It's glow-in-the-dark. If you're going out and you're going into a pub, somebody asks you for the lighter, you lose it. £3–4 for this lighter. You're not going to be bothered at the end of the day, although it is quite a cool lighter. I would be a little bit annoyed, but you know, or going camping or something like that, when you've got a lighter on you, even if you don't smoke, very handy, very sort of sociable as well to sort of carry a lighter, and as well in an emergency, always handy to have a lighter. I've got a load of big lighters laying around, loads of clipper lighters laying around. If I see them on offer, I always pick a pack up because they're just always handy to have laying around. But I saw this one, it was glow in the dark, and I was like, oh yeah, grab that. Like I said, you don't mind if they go missing, get lost, get damaged. Whereas with some of the more expensive lighters, and certainly as well if you're getting into EDC or you're not a smoker, you probably don't want to carry around an expensive lighter. And of course I've got my trusty Hank with me, gone for the Halloween theme, because we're drawing into that time. Winter is really sort of chomping at the bit, and I just saw this, made me smile, absolutely love it. As always, EDC Hanks just do such great handkerchiefs. Very reasonable. These sort of things, you know, as long as you don't go for something themed like this, whereas if I pull it out at Christmas or something, people go, what? But, you know, carrying a handkerchief around, really useful. You've got your hanky on one side for wiping up spills, noses, coughing into whatever you need to do. And then of course on the other side, you've got your microfiber for cleaning your glasses, your camera lenses, or your phone screens. Always carry a Hank, definitely is a must in the EDC, I feel. I just find them so useful. The other thing that I've picked up and I've been finding very useful are these little night eyes ties. So these are basically just reusable ties, piece of metal wrapped in plastic. You can tie bags up, you can hold cameras on tripods, etc. They have a lot of different uses. They weigh absolutely nothing. These are like $4.99 for two, different sizes, different lengths as well, different colours. I think these do come in very handy, very cheap, but useful. Pen, don't go wrong with a Fisher Space bullet pen. These are just so cheap, anywhere from sort of $3.99 up to $10.99. Small, I suppose you call them disposable pens, but they will write upside down. They were designed to go in space, so they just don't fail on you. But they break down into a nice, small, manageable size. Being in plastic as well, you know, they hardly take up any weight, any space. You lose something like that, you're not going to be too bothered. It's not going to be difficult to get a replacement. You know, you might be at work and you don't want to take a nice pen to work with you, but you need a pen. Go with that, of course, you've got your Write in the Rain notebook. So you've got your measurements and you've got your conversions over here. So just a useful thing to have. And if someone parks like a complete idiot in the car parks, like they do in the UK, taking up 2 spaces, then you can leave them a really nice note and compliment them on how well they've parked. So before I move on to the knife portion, it comes to my favourite part, which is flashlights. Now, lots of you last week after I asked, given me some suggestions on flashlights, and I've taken that and I've ordered a few of them, and they're on their way. As soon as they're in, I'm going to sort of put them to use and let you know how I get on which one, if any of them, I actually really do like. So this was from a UK company called Mountain Warehouse. I don't know if you have them in the States. Comment below if you have them in the States. And again, it comes in the orange. Love the orange. It takes 4 AAA batteries. There are no fancy modes, no fancy switches, nothing like that on this. They actually advertise this as a torch for children. Personally, this is too bright. I wouldn't give this to my youngest, who's sort of 3, because she basically blind herself. It's just on and off. Very, very bright. Very simple, just on off, that's it. But it was 2 for £5. So I got 2 because, again, it's always handy just having some flashlights laying in different places of the house in case there's a power cut, or in case in the middle of the night you need to get up and not wake everybody up. However, this is one where you turn it on and I think you would wake everybody up because it is just so bright when you do it. Is it going to last very long? No, probably not. But again, at that sort of price, it's not a problem. If I'm carrying this and it falls out my pocket, or it gets broken, or my little one does get hold of it and hide it where I can never find things, like she's done with a couple of pairs of my socks, I don't care, I'll just get another one. Okay, so this is the portion where we move on to our knives. So if you're not a knife person, if you don't like knives, you don't see the point in carrying knives, then now is the time to turn off. Okay, so as always, I have to thank Pull the Trigger, my local knife and air gun shop, who lent me these knives and let me have use of them, and then if I like them, I buy some. If I don't, I just return them. So thank you to Pull the Trigger, as always, for supplying these. And as always as well, I've got a UK friendly one and an American one. We're going to start with the UK friendly, and it is a 2021 limited edition Swiss Army knife in the mini. Now you can pick these up for around £20, but because this is the limited edition one, it's closer to sort of £40. But if you just wanted a plain silver one, you can get them for around about the £20 mark. And what I like about these ones over the normal Swiss Army knife is the fact that they are actually made of metal rather than that plastic. I'm not a great fan of the plastic ones. I do prefer these. It's just got on it a little blade, a nail file, and as well a pair of scissors on it. So just to stick in your fifth pocket, on your keychain, very friendly, very non-offensive, reasonable price as well if you don't go for the limited edition one. And it's got, you know, something for cutting, something for sorting out a nail if you get a hangnail, and something for filing it off, which it's generally, you know, you need to either open a package or you need to file your nail. I find that sort of does all the bases, and it is a very nice little knife. Oh, we're coming into the next one now. I think the Americans who are watching this are going to probably fall off their chair, because this is a orange, sticking with the theme, buck locking knife. Okay, so again, can't carry this in the UK because it locks. It is a back lock on it, and it's just got a nice plastic handle. I really like this knife. However, I believe, and correct me again in the comments if I'm wrong, that these knives in the States are about $15 to $25. This is $50. Yeah, so because it's imported from America over to the UK, it is just that much more expensive. And over here, buck knives are sort of seen as a premium sort of knife. So I think as well, they sort of take advantage of that to the UK. But this is a very nice knife. I do really like this. It has that feel to it in the palm of the hand. You've got your lanyard there. You've got a really, really strong back lock on that as well. That is just not going to go anywhere. And I really like the blade shape on this. Very, very sharp, straight out the box. So don't know whether I'm going to be adding this to my EDC, but I do really like it. If I could get over to the States and I could get one of these for sort of around the $15, $25 mark, then I would snap these knives up, because I really like it for sort of working around the house, working out in the garden, or if you're going out camping or something like that. This just, to me, it just feels like they could take a beating, take a hammering, and it just isn't going to let you down. And I really, really do like the shape of everything from the handle to the blade on this, so buck. Like it. Now, last week I asked for your help with flashlights, and some people put in some suggestions, so thank you for those. And like I said, I've got 2 or 3 lights coming through the post which I'm going to play around with and see, because I'm just having a bit of a nightmare. It's the one thing, I just seem to be super fussy. I just want something simple. I like my O light, that's still my favourite one so far, but some of the others are coming and we will check them out in future videos. Also, I asked you if you would like your gear to be submitted at the end of the video, to send in a photograph and a brief description, and I picked one out. So here we go. So this submission is from John B. He didn't put any handles, any Instagram, anything on here, but I really like this. So he starts with his Fossil hybrid watch, which is found to be a perfect blend of traditional timepiece and smartwatch. It vibrates whenever I receive important notification, counts my steps, and lets me control the music on my phone. The insane battery lasts 6 months. Yeah, that's pretty good going for a battery on a smartwatch. I mean, hands down beats anything that Apple put out by a long shot, so might be worth checking out, and I do like the look of that. Yellow Birch Outfitters Pocket Pico to organise his EDC. I've got something very similar that's coming up on my next video. I'm going to be having a look at a pocket organiser on my next video. The Fisher Space Bullet Pen, for what they are, what they do, they are very nice pens. The Rovivon Aurora A5 is super handy, includes a secondary red light which is great for waking up the family at night, and also handy for astrophotography. Ooh, astrophotography, okay. You might have to drop me another email on what you do. That sounds very interesting. The Victoria Mini Champ is fantastic and handy, and handles many jobs around the house or out and about. Top tip, use the orange peeler for opening those annoying hard plastic packages. Yeah, I've encountered the orange peeler on my Gerber. When I was trying to do the seatbelt earlier, I actually managed to put the orange peeler through my finger because I was trying to use it as a pry bar. The generic A7 notepad is used to jot down to-dos, and the latest item to join my EDC is the Magnus Rail Slider, and it's the most used thing on the list. It's relaxing to play with, the magnets are strong, the haptic feedback is satisfying, and the sound is very clicky. I can't put it down. Yeah, I played around with a couple of the clickers as well. They are a little bit addictive, especially if you're sat editing videos for a long time. My partner does come in and go, "What is that noise?" And it was lovely to receive your submission, so thank you very much. Anybody else, again, my email is down in the link below if you would like your EDC featured. Brief description if you want your Instagram handle put on there as well, or your Facebook, then please do that. The detailed description of the products down below in the description. As with anything else, some of them are affiliate links. If you can click on them, it doesn't cost you anything, helps the channel to grow. So thank you for watching. It's been great as always, and I will see you on the next one. Take care.